Greetings there, my fellow miners. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Aquatic. Episode 12, Reaching the Edge of Space. How do you protect from a brownout? You don't. All a brownout means is your power generator, like something won't be able to turn on. So like if we are using more than 1,000 watts, which let's say the vulcanizer and the exosuit was running at the same time, it just prevents someone from also using that textile loom. So it's not really something you have to bother engineering if you don't care about it, which I don't care about it. There we go. Turn of the century. Oh, how do you protect from a leaky suit? So from the leaky suit, creating a tile here will work. The other thing we could do is have another bathroom closer to the suit dock so they don't have to run so far to go to the bathroom. You could have a smaller bathroom, like a one-stall bathroom. And then moving the liquid lock from this spot to like up here instead. So you have to go suit, climb one lip, and then liquid lock here after a lip. Like this one, so that because as soon as if you do pee in your suit, when you redock your suit, it creates a puddle. So basically contain the puddle, and that's all you really need to do. Wow, everyone's going through the suit dock? It's a party. What are y'all doing? You're grabbing like, you're building, I can see that. Oh, you're grabbing lime. So I might fix the suit dock at some point for, to move the liquid lock to accommodate a potential leaky suit situation. But it's pretty low on the priority. So for the rest of the power grid, now that that thing is gone, I can have two transformers here. This transformer will go down like this, which is more elegant, and then we won't have this like floating transformer anymore. And that will be the end of that project. So what next project to undertake? And if you want me to continue working on the power transformer stuff, you can vote on it. There. A little bit more organized. More elegant. I don't know if this alternative ladder is really needed at this point. It's like redundant. I'm gonna phase it out. Lamb seed it is. And then I'll clean up some of the like silly cabling before I call this quits. So the big thing here is we have a 2K line if and when we need it for the crafting room, which I can pull in here and then like use the conductive wire bridge to then feed a metal refinery or something else that requires 2K power. And then the potential of a browna anywhere else is much, much, much lower as a result of like the redundant, the additional transformers. So that'll work. I like it. And it's a bit more cleaned up too, just in general. Well, it seems like even though this is a 1 priority, I don't really need to re-raise the priority because we're getting more of our kcals from salty sticks. They're like just doing it because there's nothing else to do. Which works for me. Oh my god, mildew, you're so slow. It's like actually kind of hilarious to watch in a sad way. Will he make it? I don't even know what he's going for, but probably for the lime because he's a supplier. Yep, he grabbed the lime. Okay, looks like we're going to expand north and explore. So fix the north suit dock and create better transit. Transit, there we go. So let's go ahead, now that you voted for it, for me to fix the north suit dock so that we have like a lip before the liquid lock. Which will... things will break before it gets fixed. So what we need to do is we need to... we're going to essentially remove our liquid lock and then put a new one in. And the concern here is what gases... There's no hydrogen or polluted oxygen gas that is anywhere near, or chlorine for that matter, which is anywhere near this. It's mostly just carbon dioxide, so it's fine. It will potentially introduce some carbon dioxide, but it's like not a big deal. So we're going to get rid of the mucin that was there and create a new liquid lock. In its place. And then, to displace a lot of this salt water, to create a vertical ladder column after we have a new liquid lock. Are suits much more worth it than the face mask ones? Yes. The face mask ones... honestly, do very little. They provide oxygen, but your dupe is still subjected to the environment. So if the environment's hot or cold or full of eye irritants or germy, they still get hit by that. Additionally, if you take an exosuit to space or an oxygen mask to space isn't going to work so well. So the exosuits are for extreme environments. Now, the downside is it is in athletics. Unless you pick up the skills for exosuit wearing to reduce the exosuit penalty for wearing it, you will move slower in it. So there is it's not only good. There is a downside too. But generally, I just use exosuits, so I don't have to worry about my dupes like burning, freezing, scalding, anything like that. They just move a little slower. But wearing exosuits will also train your athletics, as far as I know. So that is also like a benefit, because then ultimately your dupes are faster for having done it. Alright, come on, build this thing. And let's make it look like professional, I guess. Alright, so this is going to be a mucin sweep dump. Where now we have a place to put that mucin. Come on. Don't make me make it an emergency. I'll do it. And this is so that there's like a physical barrier between us and the outside. And in the future, that might be necessary in order to protect us from like any heat or cold or any you know, environmental changes. And this is like a piss protector. We could airflow tile so it doesn't become, because airflow tile blocks liquid flow. So we could add some airflow tiles here so that this doesn't also become like a carbon trap. Carbon dioxide trap. But allows for, if we end up peeing our suit, for the peed suit to be contained. Which I think is wise in the long run. Alright, so now that that part's done, I already have an established ladder here. And what I would like to do is to have as straight of a path as possible. Which means in this section, moving the water. And I'm going to move, and one of the issues with that is we have a heavy watt cable here. So in order to do that, I'm probably going to want a joint plate. So that I can move the heavy watt cable and move the water without disrupting the power. And then we're going to want this vertical column wider so that we can do like transit tube and also fire pole. That would be the dream. Transit tube up and fire pole down. That's probably the meta. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. That would be a very sandy mess. And then wet mess. Which brings me to another thing we might want to engineer is a liquid catch. So if we have a vertical ladder here, maybe intentionally, let's kill this Slogo and then have a liquid pool here. So if liquid does spill through, it doesn't hit our, it doesn't go into our liquid lock of mucin. It just dumps into like a catch basin here of a, hell with it. I didn't want to have to deal with this, so we didn't deal with this type of zone. And I like that as a concept as well. Oh, that's probably a terrible spot for the joint plate, because that's exactly where I want the ladder. Yeah, let's fix that. I don't even really need a joint plate. I just need to move the cables out of the way. That will do. Well, no, I do want a joint plate. Actually, I could probably move the water without one. So never mind, I'll just do cables. It's fine. Oh, storage unavailable, so these must be full. Yep, they're full. And I'm going to reroute the automation wire too. So the purpose of all of this is I need to displace this water. So I'm going to lower the water level and then build walls here to push the water over here. So I can build eventually a wall here. And all the water that's required for the tidal turbine is going to be to the right of this area. And that way I can have a ladder here that doesn't go through slushy water. It's a lot of effort. But if we want the shortest path to space, I'm going to have to cut through a lot of stuff. Give me more seeds, I guess. So I don't care about the rest. So once this wall's built, and I have a spot for a catch basin, then if there's any like random brine or polluted water that spills in, it doesn't affect my liquid lock. And it gets caught so that I can like filter it, pump it, clean it, whatever. I think that's going to ultimately be important. And I don't see any... I mean, there's some brine here, but it's not that big of a barrier to be able to deal with. I don't yet see any major barriers. Combat. What are you fighting? Oh, the Sluggo. And in order for this catch basin to work, I want it to be like high volume capacity, and then maybe to have an alternative overflow. So if the liquid level somehow exceeds here, it flows out that way. Because I don't care about destroying here at all that much. I just don't want it to flow towards my liquid lock and then overflow eastward. That would be way more of a problem. Okay, there we go. And now that there's space for the water elsewhere, I'll just start filling this up with walls to push the water, and then eventually, once all the water is east of here, I'll just put the ladder in instead. Might be wise for me. Well, I actually don't really care about the gases east of or outside of the air liquid lock, so I don't really care if this pool's carbon dioxide. It makes no difference. One thing I did do is I did remove my saltwater dump. I guess I'll put the bottle emptier back. Because that just dumps to this holding pool, and then that spills over to here, which is ultimately where we're pumping in for our irrigation for our oxygen production. And that's probably fine. There's no hot salt water or germy salt water anywhere, so I don't see that to be much of an issue. Now our K cows are at the 50k mark that I had mentioned would be cause to raise the priority up here. So I'm going to raise the priority of the soda cane. Now, granted, a lot of the soda cane looks to be almost mature, so we're probably going to get a bumper crop in a moment. And if that's not enough, I can extend the farm or do something else to fix the problem. Major mildew, please level. Oh, RCV leveled up. Let's get you better suit wearing. And that's the direction Avaka is going to take as well. Oh my god, this is painful to watch. You did it! I don't even know why there was that much lime there. Was this beacon really making it all? It must have. Over the course of many cycles. But it's surprising how much lime was actually plopped there. So hopefully there will be enough room that I won't need a joint plant there to block the water. That there's enough free volume to build this wall. I guess we'll see if it overflows or not. And if it overflows, then I'll put a joint plate there to as a water retention wall. Yeah, what is his athletics is still 0. Would explain a lot. I should just like put him on the manual generator, make him run. But I won't do that. He'll level up on his own in time. So the tidal turbine, or the tidal, not the turbine itself, but the tidal springs, as I explained before, they suck in water to a maximum, and when they hit the maximum, then they expel the water until they hit 0. And in the expelling phase is when they generate power if you have a tidal turbine. So the water level in these will rise and fall, hence tidal. It's like an artificial tide. So what we need is enough potential volume in here to contain its maximum when it's fully expelled, which has just happened. So I'm hoping that the unreachable, so this being unreachable is solvable if I do that. Or, let's do it like this. That'll be a little easier. And I'm also nearly out of siltstone. So I may need to go out of my way to like mine up some siltstone because I've been using it as a primary building material, but I'm not replacing it once used. Don't make that in Coquina. Oh, I don't even have the salt done. Okay. Copy that. They'll be reachable in just a sec. I don't really care about what liquids I'm going through, as we already have a, we're working on the catch basin. Actually, let's not do that quite yet until the catch basin is active, because right now it gets caught here, which is less than ideal. And I think, for safety's sake, it'd be best if I enclose this with a joint plate anyway. Just so that there isn't a case where, like, some weird liquid goes in there. Now, the tidal turbines can absorb any kind of liquid. Like, they could even technically take on mucin. I just would prefer these tidal zones to only have one liquid for simplicity's sake. That way there isn't really any, there aren't any issues with, volume and the like. And the reason I mention that is mucin, things like mucin would fill a tidal turbine much faster than like saltwater, and then it would cause like spillover effects and things like that. I don't want to avoid that, hence only using the one. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna mop this up. And we should be free to have that vertical ladder. Actually, at this point, it should be made of sedimentary and granite, because that's what's locally available. And then, of course, we'll hit like another problem here, which could easily be solved by excavating sand and displacing and moving the brine to a lower level and getting it out of the way. Ooh. Snazzy suit is tempting because I don't have swimwear for everyone. And swimwear for everyone is going to be increasingly not necessary as we end up with exosuit docks on both ends, because you would really only go in the water going into the farm zone for fluke coral or at the bottom of the like liquid aquifer. So yeah, I'll do it. And we'll make Ravac snazzy. Why not? All right. So some of the brine is gonna spill, very much by design. I wanted this to be at least 2 wide. 2 wide so that it eventually can be fire pole up, transit tube down, or transit tube up, fire pole down, replacing the ladder at some point. Possibly even 3 wide. Really depends on how much more complicated we want to get. But it's happening. Making our slow way to space. So at this point here, I think what we'll have to do is dig out this way to here, and then go up from here to be able to work away the brine. It will hit 2 bleach stones. And I'm going to stop the dig for bleach stone temporarily so that I can be ready to haul it to where it should be, because I don't really care if it outgasses here, but I'd really prefer it to be in our chlorine room. I haven't put back the heavy cable. True. To do that. And that makes this this area here like liquid tight so that it can't screw up. But it would be good to do that before my batteries. I mean, I think the 2 generators I have are probably more than enough power, but we already have it back anyway. Anything can you do with excess chlorine? So you could do an ore scrubber. So an ore scrubber allows you to clean germs. Like a sink cleans your dupe and the suit your dupe's wearing, and an ore scrubber kills the germs that might be present on any thing they're holding. So that's the other use for chlorine. There's not a ton of use for chlorine, but that would be the other one. You could also turn into liquid chlorine or solid chlorine, I suppose. And let's see, chlorine gas. You could use it in a megaphron farm. You could Dasha salt vine it for salt. Not that we need salt in this biome. You could feed it to puffs for bleach stone if you want a weird feedback loop. Yeah, and it's primarily just a natural germ killing element in a gaseous state. That would be its biggest use case for an ore scrubber and for water filtration. Speaking of water filtration, my reservoir tank is low-ish. I wouldn't say it's low, but let's do a water filter, a water exchange. So wait until that hits 0. Major mildew, nice. I'm gonna do carrying. And the other major part of this project is let's get a fire pole that goes all the way down. So that we can descend very quickly. And that would be the, like, mass speedy transit I was referring to. Now, the other thing, there isn't enough brine here to prevent us from mopping it. But if we ever hit such a volume that is unmoppable, we're going to want, like, to pump or something. What liquids are there? Is it just, mucin and salt water? Okay. And I'm going to go a little over time. Let's wait for a new cycle to hit that. Because there's not a lot of work hours left in the day to move the bleach stone to where it needs to be. And the reason why I'm going all the way around is I don't want this volume of brine to dump on me, because that's like just more brine than I want to mop. It's going to be more effort to mop that. And then what's what is outgassing here? I mean, it's outside of our airlock, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just curious what it is. What is the sublimator? Or the... What is farting? I don't know. There's like too much stuff here. Is it bleachstone? Oh, it's bleachstone. Yeah, it looked like chlorine. So, if I clicked on the bleachstone here, I cycle through it. So there's 2 bleachstone that I'm gonna hit as emergency to... Yep, there it goes. It's done. And then the rest of these sweeps can just be like standard. I must have... There was bleachstone here that I like failed to notice. Well, that just means we have a... Oh, unless they dropped it somewhere stupid. They did. They very much did. Not end today, guys. Keep moving it. So, this is maybe in... No, I'm not that lucky. If it was submerged... Frickin' move it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. If it was a little bit more liquid there, it would have not outgassed. So, as a consequence, there will be some chlorine gas farting around our base. As you can see. Because they carried bleachstone in, and then they didn't finish the job of putting it away. Oh well. Actually, I don't know what happened to that bleachstone. It just disappeared. Slacker dupes. Yeah, exactly. And then there's a little bit here. And you can always, like, try to pump it if you really... I don't care enough. It'll eventually settle somewhere in between the oxygen and the carbon dioxide layer. And if it settles lower than where I'm going to eventually put a liquid lock, like, it really doesn't matter. They're going to complain about itchy eyes. It's going to be their fault. Yeah. Yeah. There's some things I can do to fix it, like putting in airflow tiles here to allow it to drop, to settle. Which I'm happy to do. Just to try to aid it, because, like, having it sit where they sleep is, like, not ideal. And then if I widen this tunnel here, there will be more free airflow of exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen and chlorine gas. So that will aid it in settling out. Because everything has a weight, and I think it will go, carbon dioxide is usually heavier than everything, than chlorine, than oxygen, so it will settle somewhere just above the carbon dioxide line. Which is fine. That's pretty much what we'd want to have happen. So if I can get it to settle out around here, then it's really not going to bother anyone if I end up liquid locking here. As you can see, it's slowly traveling down. Yep, there it goes. And it will go lower and lower and lower until eventually it will settle maybe around here or so. We'll see. Nice. Exosuit training. And exosuit training is a big one. That's one that, like, I'm almost willing to scrub everyone to get them exosuit training, because they'll move a lot faster in suits if they all have exosuit training. All right. Well, I do see the edge of space. That is a very significant milestone. Seeing vacuum and mafic rock and regolith. We hit... Wait, I mean, we haven't technically hit space, but we are very freaking close. And this, friends, is where I'm going to leave off for the stream. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Aquatic, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I'm not, however, looking for feedback. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow dupes.